You're watching Transformers of Eternia.
If you enjoy this video, please hit that like button and also please hit that subscribe button to support the channel. Thanks.
On this episode, I'm going to be covering just kind of the latest things in the Masters of the Universe Origins universe, I guess. And I'll start with the Ground Ripper, or the Road Ripper, as some might say. Basically, Mechanic and the Road Ripper. It's a pack, I guess it's a Walmart exclusive. I was surprised by this, and sometimes that's kind of scary considering Walmart is very good at making things hard for collectors to get. But I believe that this thing will actually show up in a store, and if I think about this probably will end up on the shelf just sitting there taking up space, and no one will end up buying it. I mean, people will buy it, but it'll be a shelf warmer. Because when I go to Walmart right now, I keep seeing Panther and the flocked Panther or whatever, and that thing is just sitting there for $40, and I'm just waiting. Okay, well, when the thing goes down and they actually have a price drop on this thing, a significant one where it's like $7, I'll buy it then, but I'm not buying it for $40. Battle Cat was not $40, so it's just, I understand you're paying for the flogging in the box that's got like whatever. It's just too much for me. I already got Battle Cat, and Panther I was never really a huge fan of. You don't really need a Panther. But anyway, getting back to Mechanic and the Road Ripper, or the Ground Ripper, or whatever they call it now. Mechanic doesn't have the whole mechanism where he actually turns and his neck raises, which is kind of sad. I understand what they're doing here, because they're just trying to take out some of the action features that might change the way the figure can pose or move or whatever sometimes. But I mean, it seems like they figured out how to do it on other things. I mean, for like Montana, they put the switch in the back of Montana's head. Now, that being said, his head is a lot bigger, so it has a little bit of room for that. But I mean, like many faces, if you got him, because that wave was extremely hard to get where I'm from anyway. I heard it was really easy to get in Europe, but not here. But anyway, Manny Faces, he has the function of his faces turning, and the whole helmet that the faces are in can turn, which is something they didn't even do on their vintage version of him. So it's just interesting to me that they're kind of changing up things, even though, I mean, I don't know, it's weird that they're doing it that way. They're still doing a lot of these things, like battle armor He-Man or whatever. He could still have the battle damage or whatever, and it's still a functional thing. But okay, whatever. So you swap out the neck, you just take the head off, you put a new neck on, and then you put the head on that. And a lot of people probably won't end up leaving him on the shelf like that. He'll just be sitting there with his head like normal. So it becomes an action figure with an extra piece that you have to save and keep in a container somewhere, I guess. I don't know. But moving on, Mechanic basically he's cool. You have to have him if you're going to have a main group of Masters of the Universe heroes. And he's on my essential list where I have to have him. And then moving on to the next thing is a Moss Man. You have to have Moss Man. But I'm kind of torn, because I see these pictures of Moss Man and I'm like, it's just Beast Man, and they really just didn't do anything different. I hate to say it. I understand that that's what they did in the original, like, classic stuff. But for some reason with Moss Man, I kind of think, man, they could do something a little different. You know, like the head sculpt should be like more of I don't know. I just want to have like more of a classics version of him where he's more, he just needs something. I don't know. It just bothers me that they basically give you Beastman armor in yellow, and I understand that that's a thing that they're doing, whatever, trying to have like the callbacks to old things. But and then they give you a Beastman head from the Lords of Power thing, and it is sort of green. And now it's basically a deluxe just because of they give you a couple extra things. But it's like, man, he just seems like he's missing something. Like, he should have like a like some kind of a thing like that goes across his chest maybe to carry stuff. I don't know, like a wraparound thing. I don't know. He needs something because he just feels so plain to me. It just feels like I'm not getting my money's worth out of this thing. Maybe it's just because I got the Beastman mold and I'm just seeing that so much that it's like, what am I getting here? Whatever. So anyway, that's Mossman is cool and everything. I'm gonna have to buy him because I need to have him because he's one of those main core uh, figures for the heroes. But it just kind of feel like he's just like take it or leave it. That's how I feel about him. And I hate to say it that way as a fan, but he's kind of boring. And so moving on from there, we had this frogmonger character, which is like a background character from like box art or something that I've seen, and he's just this thing in the background, not really a thing. And they're actually going to make that into a figure, and I am surprised that they're doing that. But I'm also looking at that saying, you know what? Are we going to get like a Lizard Man or something like that, and all these other characters out of that? I mean, Merman has these characters in the original Filmation cartoons. There's these. He has like his little minions in the show for a little, like a short like episode maybe. Anyway, and these characters would be awesome to have if Origins would do these things. Now they're skinnier body builds, but they just look kind of cool if they're around Merman. It just seems cool to have Merman have some minions around him, because underwater I doubt he's like the only one down there that's kind of a creature like that. Even if he is his own kind of creature, it'd be nice to have other little beings to go around him, that to fill that in. But I don't know. It's just my thing, and I just love those skinny little guys from the Filmation, and I kind of think that this frogmonger body shape or just the look of it could be used maybe for some of those minions for Merman. It's just something I thought about right away when I see that. And I mean, Lizard Man, he comes to mind. I'm trying to think of, is there any other ones like that that kind of fit in that ballpark? I don't know, but that build base, that body seems to work or the way they did it anyway. It just feels like we could get another figure out of this. So anyway, I think it's cool that they're doing that though. I'm all for them trying to do some very background type of creatures that were like on box art that are just like stuck in a cell somewhere underneath Castle Grayskull. These things would be cool. I guess I'll just talk about all this new stuff recently. But anyway, in King Hiss, he looks cool when he's kind of in his human form, I guess, in the new Origins line. But once you take off the armor and you turn him into the snake version, I don't know. He's just so bright yellow. He just seems cheap to me. I don't know. He comes off as like kind of like they just rushed him out and they didn't do a lot of paint work on him. Cuz even the vintage version, at least the coloring wasn't so bright, I don't think. At least I don't remember it being that bright. But with this new version, he's just like neon bright yellow snake, and then all the snake stuff is weird. I understand that they're doing it to where you can actually move the snake arms and all that stuff. Like you can pose and move these things, even though it doesn't have elbows or anything. It doesn't look like so. There is that, but I'm just gonna have him in his human form, basic for the most part, because he just, I don't know. King Hiss just never really was that great of a character to me. I don't know why. I just never really got into him. As a kid, I had Rattlor, and he was cool and everything, and I had Cobra Khan, and I think Cobra Khan is one of those characters. It just feels like he's more of a main character. So Cobra Khan is going to be one I for sure get. But anyway, moving aside from all the snake men that they talked about and all that stuff, and the new whatever, all that other new stuff like the snake armor He-Man and all that. I just want to touch on the other new stuff that was information was revealed. We're getting an Eternia playset. I'm sure everybody's talked about that. It's kind of like old news now. And $550 or something like that for this thing. I don't have the room. I don't have the money. And I'm probably never going to get this thing. But I never had the original Eternia set. So I don't know. I'm just kind of like okay with not having it. Because I don't have a lot of room for the vehicles and all the stuff. Like, I got Castle Grayskull. You kind of have to have Castle Grayskull. But I'm not getting the Eternia playset and, the King Grayskull. I'll just have to make my own King Grayskull, I guess, whenever, with some 3D printed parts from some third-party creator or whatever. So that's kind of where I stand on that. I mean, it's awesome if you guys could get it or whatever, but not for me. So they also released information about Snake Mountain. Now that's kind of cool, but for me, Snake Mountain, the toy, also that's another thing where I'm kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm a bizarre, weird fan or something, but I just want Snake Mountain to look kind of like the cartoon Snake Mountain in the Filmation. I know that would be a big set. That would probably be as big as the Eternia playset, really, if you think about it. But it would be a mountain, basically. But it's just cool how the snake curls around the top of the mountain. And it's just something I always wanted. I know the playset everyone likes because you can have that voice thing. But that voice thing is not in the new Origins version. So it's kind of just a playset like Grayskull. And it's got some cool features. One thing I really would like that's in this new Snake Mountain set is the throne for Skeletor, because I can't make that very easily. I made thrones for these other characters in the past. If you've seen some of my posts on Instagram or any of these, whatever, maybe I think I have some of that stuff in the videos. Some of the stuff. Anyway, my point is they made the throne and it's freaking awesome. And I wish I could have a throne, just the throne, maybe just the throne and the table that's in front of it in the Filmation show or something, so I could have Skeletor having a throne at least. Because I got a Hordak chair that I made. I have a Sorceress chair that I made. And it's just, these things are just something that kind of feels cool to have for these characters to sit in, So, Snake Mountain, I don't know how much the price is going to be on this thing. Feels like it should be around the same as Castle Grayskull, but for some reason I have a feeling it's going to be more, because it seems like it's got a lot of stuff in there. And the price of everything is going up, so I guess someday we won't be able to afford any of this stuff anymore. I don't know if this is going to actually show up in a store or just be online, because it seems the way I see things at Target, it seems like they're really cutting anything out that they feel like they're not going to make any money on. And I feel like Target and Walmart, for one, Walmart just has stuff always just sitting there, and it just sits there. It would be nice if the Whiplash King Randor wave would come out in stores, because I haven't got that yet, and I really want King Randor and Whiplash. That's really the only ones from that whole wave I want. But it's like, geez, they're always like a year behind. They just sit there on the shelf, and then like they put them on sale or something. I don't know. They end up moving them eventually, and then you get two waves later or whatever, so you're not even getting full waves. It's not consistent. It's so inconsistent. So you end up with this issue where if you're a real collector, you have to pay, the tax, the shipping, and all the other garbage to buy this stuff online. And you end up paying way more than the figure's worth. And considering the price of the figures are going up, you just feel like, my God, what are you doing as Mattel? I mean, what's going on with these stores and all this stuff? It's like you're making the characters, so it seems like the line is going okay, but it's like it feels like the line is just kind of slowing down when you go into the stores because they just sit there. And I don't collect Masterverse, so I don't care about all that stuff. But I'm just saying that that's kind of how I feel about what's Snake Mountain gonna end up doing. It's just gonna sit there on a shelf somewhere, right around Christmas. I bet you, like a year or so from now or something, there's gonna be a bunch of them just show up, and then they'll just sit there, and they'll mark them down eventually. Because Castle Grayskull, at first you couldn't find them at all. They were just I had to kill myself to find something, and then eventually I seen one in a Walmart, and I didn't have the money, and I'm like, oh my God. So I literally I'm calling my wife, telling her, yes, I'm going to buy this thing for like $75, and I'm just going to use a credit card because if I don't buy it now, I will never see it again. So I ended up doing that, and I ended up putting it in the cart, and I'm like, I have to get this because I put it in my cart right away so no one else would get it. And then I'm just like, God, just one in the store, really? And then a couple months, right around Christmas time, and I'm at Target, and then I look, and I'm like, they had like 7 or 8 Castle Grayskulls just sitting far away from the toy aisle in this other aisle over by Christmas ornaments and stuff. And I'm like, what in the world are you doing? You don't even put this in the toy aisle or around it even, so no one knows it's there. And they were just sitting there, and they sat there all the way up until Christmas. And I don't know what they did with them after that because I never seen them on sale. So what a joke, If that happens to Snake Mountain, I don't know. I don't know what to say, man. It's just weird that the way that these things are. I mean, I understand fans are really only ones collecting these things. But anyway, I think I should just get back to the Snake Mountain thing before I ramble on about everything. But yeah, basically, Snake Mountain should not sit on a shelf just like, just some toy that no one wants or no. It's a collector's item that I know a lot of Masters of the Universe fans love. I just hate it when I see these things like just sitting there like no one's buying them, or they overstock something and then they don't know the fan base and they don't know how many people want or whatever. It just feels like there's like a bad like mix like of online or in store. It's like nobody can really range the fans. And then I feel like that makes them want to just sell stuff online so that they're not overstocking stores and like all that stuff. But for me, I like going to the store and I like actually finding these things in the store and buying them because usually I'm going to the store anyway for other stuff. So for me, it actually is better, it's cheaper for me to just be going to like Walmart or Target to buy groceries or whatever. And then all of a sudden I'm like walking in the aisle and oh, there's the figure. So now I just buy the figure for whatever they are now, $18 for a regular one. And then I go, oh, I got this for $18 and I didn't have to pay any extra for gas because I'm already here. But if I get it online, now that goes up to, whatever it comes to after shipping and tax online, you end up paying like $26 or something for this thing online after everything's said and done. And if it's a deluxe, you're paying even more. So it's like, I'm just trying to save money because these things are really getting expensive. I mean, Transformers I collect too, and man, I had to slim down what I collect as a Transformers fan because I'm only getting main characters like the Dinobots, the Insecticons, or whatever, main things like the Stunticons or something, just those things because they have a lot of extra characters, but I don't have the money to really shell out for all these things because the price of this stuff is going up so insanely that they're basically turning into class like masterpiece level pricing almost. But the characters look cool and everything looks great with the Masters of the Universe Origins. I love how they're doing a lot of these characters, but I just have to focus on the main cast of characters that I really like and try not to get all these other oddballs, you know. But I think I've talked long enough. I'm rambling, and I'm sure no one's listening at this point because I just went off the rails and stopped talking about the actual stuff I wanted to talk about. So, if you like what I'm doing, if you like these videos, and I should stop in the middle of the video and at the beginning I should say this, but I didn't. But please subscribe. Most of the people who watch my videos are not subscribers, and I'm not yelling at anybody for this. I'm just saying, just hit that subscribe button, man. If you like what I do, just hit that like button and subscribe. It doesn't hurt you. It helps me, and we're all good. You know, I'll keep putting out videos, and you keep watching them, and we're all good. So yeah. Anyway, I think I've overstayed my welcome here. I'm just gonna sign off and just pretty much be done here. Okay, so thank you for watching.